HIV Stigma and Discrimination. Have you ever wondered how people with HIV live their life every day? How do their family, friends, and community treat them? Or what do community members think about HIV and the people who are infected? Do you know what the stigma of HIV is? HIV stigma refers to irrational or negative attitudes, behaviors, and judgments toward people living with or at risk of HIV. It can negatively affect the health and well-being of people living with HIV by discouraging some individuals from learning about their HIV status, accessing treatment, or remaining in care. Stigma can also affect those at risk for HIV by discouraging them from getting HIV prevention tools and tests, and from talking openly with their sex partners about safer sex options. Now, do you see a trend? HIV stigma can negatively affect the physical health, healthcare behaviors, and interpersonal relationships of people living with HIV, and can affect many aspects of life, such as number 1, healthcare. Shame from the stigma of HIV can prevent people living with HIV from getting the life-saving treatment they need. Second one is housing. Lack of employment due to discrimination can make it difficult to find adequate housing, as can discrimination from landlords. Third, relationship. Social stigma against people living with HIV can lead to gossip, rejection, bullying, and in some cases even violence. So, why is this happening around HIV? Well, many people assume that HIV is a life-threatening condition associated with death. Moreover, they argue that HIV is linked to behaviors that people do not approve of. Examples are drug use, sex work, or infidelity. Moreover, people believe that HIV infection is the result of personal irresponsibility, and ultimately, being infected with HIV is the result of moral wrongdoing that deserves to be punished. Therefore, we need to eliminate the stigma against HIV. First, we need to educate ourselves about HIV. We need to correct myths and misconceptions about HIV. Next, we must avoid using words that tarnish our reputation. Instead of using the word victim, use positive terms like people with HIV, PLHV. Moreover, we must respect the right of every person living with HIV to determine for herself or himself when and how to disclose her or his health status. Finally, we must listen to people living with HIV. People with life experience of disease or social reality deserve a voice in decisions that affect them. This means people living with HIV must be at the forefront of the movement to end HIV and stigma. Stigma and discrimination begins and ends with each of us. Remember, hate the sick, not the sick. Let's stop the trouble together. #We stand together.